Yo, welcome to another reading. So today we've got a video on wave. So if there's any background noise where I'm at, I've got a neighbour playing the radio loud. I can't actually hate on the person because they're kind of like blasting up summer jams and it's not even summertime, so I've got to kind of respect. I've got to respect the vibe. Do you know what I mean? It's like at least they're kind of manifesting the vibe of like summer. Do you know what I'm saying? They got the summer vibes pumping in the wrong season, but like I've got to tilt my hat to it. I've got to respect it. So if you hear the kind of the mumbles of music in the background, that's what you're hearing. Today's video is gonna be on your wave. I feel like this is gonna be like more of an internal reading. You could almost say it's a bit like your vibe. But I'm gonna kind of keep this patterning going on in the reading. So I'm gonna call it the wave, but like see if there's any messages that come through for you. So like your internal, like your waviness, like how you're possibly feeling now, how that might contribute or help you in whatever path you may be walking at the moment, something to help you along your way of kind of understanding that, possibly through your wave, through your feeling, through your internal. So hopefully that makes sense. As always, pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3. Start off with pile number 1s. Okay, pile number 1s, like I said, I'm continuing that dashed pattern. Kind of starting to understand these intuitive drawings a little bit better. Whenever I kind of get that energy, it's usually related to dreams, actually, this style. So whenever I'm kind of getting that energy of like things flickering, it's usually related to dreams. It kind of reminds me a little bit like of the Northern Lights as well. If any of you know what that is, kind of reminds me of that kind of energy. Kind of like astral / dream. What do you see? What do you feel? Pile 1s. It's as abstract as you're going to get, isn't it? What are you getting from that? I feel like this is something to do with the key word that was coming through here was like field. And then when I was saying that, I was thinking, was this, because I was thinking 2 fields. I was thinking the field like the countryside, and then I was thinking field like a force field, protection field. Don't know if it applies to all the piles, but like I was also getting the energy here of like wind. It's reminded me a little bit. Yeah, it's kind of giving me like countryside. Are you taking a trip? Or like grass, field, the wind. I guess we are picking up on a vibe here. This kind of dense energy here reminds me a little bit of like a seed. Could also be like a raindrop, but it's a little bit too by itself to be a raindrop. But like you could imagine like a raindrop and it's like whispering. I'm not sure if that's the right word, but like like gliding through the air, the drop of rain. I feel like pile number ones, there might be like I was kind of getting the words like breaking through. You may be like breaking through something. Or you may even have like a breakthrough. Like, you could have a breakthrough of something. I don't know why, because just something that I was just getting through there was like, I'm seeing almost like what do they call it? Not a crater, but like the Grand Canyon. Is it just called a canyon? Where it's like, I was seeing almost two bits of earth, and then, it's like this shape, like going through that. So I feel like you're breaking through. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like, when you have like dry earth and then water comes in and it kind of dissolves all the cracks that are in that earth. So it's kind of going back to the countryside a little bit in terms of the vibe. So it's very much to do with like earthy energy here. You might be like an earth sign if you relate to that in astrology. Don't ask me to reel them off. I think it's Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Could be wrong there though. So yeah, I feel like maybe that's your wisdom. Is there some form of like, or not even wisdom, but kind of your update, your knowledge, your guidance? Is there some form of like breakthrough that you're having, like or maybe like if you can come up with a word that expresses that better, where like something is being like hydrated, like you're being hydrated. But I'm kind of getting the key word like breakthrough. I think that's gonna mean something to you if you've been like chipping away at something, and it kind of feels like it kind of feels a little bit like this energy was dehydrated from something, but now you're about to be hydrated. So make that fit in however it may in your life. It may be like feeling hydrated with love again, feeling hydrated in terms of money. Like could be like a drought. Yeah, it could be like a money drought, and then having money coming in. It could be like feeling like there's not much love in your life, and then something comes through and you receive lots of like love from people. Do you know what I mean? I'm getting that kind of energy. I don't know how that's going to fit for everyone, but I tried to give some examples. I feel like it's a positive reading. And something that I was kind of seeing as well with, like, I'm seeing more of that raindrop again. It's like almost when it trickles down the window. I was kind of seeing it in like slow motion, so I don't know, that might mean something to you as well, but like maybe there might be a moment when this recently, like when this moment's about to happen, it might feel like things are going in slow motion for you, because I'm getting it in slow motion. Like in the, I know I seem like I'm rambling here, but I'm trying to just pass on the energy to you. Like when you watch a nature program and then they zoom in on something like really macro zoom that, and they fast forward everything happening, but it kind of feels like it's weird because it's like it's happening quicker, but it feels like slow motion kind of too. Do you know what I mean? Like, like if it was like a fern plant, I'm showing it with my finger, like, and it slowly done that, and it becomes, the plant, and it does the flower thing. That is not a fast action. It's still kind of slow motion, but everything is happening really fast. It's just in real life that's really, really, really slow. But for us, that's still like, like if you was watching me do this, you would say, Zed, why are you taking so long to point? But in the nature shows, that's how it looks. So there's something significant with what I just did there that's maybe gonna, make the penny drop for you. But that's all I've got for you, pile number ones. I hope there was something for you there. If there was, as always, please do remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the If You Pause website, ifyoupause.com. And I'll see you in the next reading. Take care. Okay, pile number twos. Got the dashed effect continuing today. If you didn't see the introduction. Reminds me a little bit of like a jellyfish, but I don't think it is. But the jellyfish might mean something to you, like there's nature coming through today. What do you see? What do you feel? Part twos. Oh, there's something more happening here. Reminds me a little bit of like coral as well. What's it called? Like seabeds? So these are the water. It's the water energy. Part ones we had earth. So this could be like my cancers. What else is in there? Pisces. Cancer, Pisces. How dare I forget that final water sign. I'll go back to you, I'll come back to you. Water sign that I left out. Scorpio. Yeah, this is kind of Scorpio heavy. That's always the case, when I forget a sign, it's like that's the sign that it's about. Yeah, so like there's maybe something here which is very clear to people that I'm maybe missing because I'm the person who's drawn it, so it's easy to miss things. But it does. It reminds me a lot of like, or even like a shell. So in terms of your wave, your vibe, like you may be feeling kind of protective at the moment, and if you like, I guess there's two sides of that. You might feel protective, like protecting yourself, just like a shell of a creature, like a crab, or you may quite literally be protected, which I feel like that's even more of a positive reading for some of you. Whatever you're going through right now, you might be protected. So remember, that's good and bad things. So like you might on this wave of life, you may be at a peak. You may be going through something really good and awesome and celebrating something, and that is a good time to be spiritually protected when you're in those highs, because when you're at a high, that's often when people can be envious and jealous of you. So you're protected in that sense. And then obviously, if you're at a low at the moment, protection is needed because, for obvious reasons, your energy is low. You may be vulnerable, etc., etc. You can fill in the gaps. So no matter where you are on that curve, this is my pal who's possibly protected right now. And if you don't believe in that type of God's protection or from your spirit guides, however you may word it, the angels, this is you may be protecting yourself in some situation. So I do feel like this energy is possibly whatever state you're in. There is something kind of slow here. Like going back to that jellyfish, I was getting kind of like jellyfish energy here. And I think jellyfishes move quite slow in the water. I'm not sure if that's just from everything I've seen in nature programs. Like when I think of like a squid, for example, I think they can be slow and then move really fast as well. But jellyfish, I tend to see them just moving more slowly in general. So this could be a slow moving energy. That could be your wave. You might just be like, I know you might be vibing out. I'm getting kind of like jazz vibes from my part twos. Just chilling. Like, what's part two up to? Part two's just chilling. Like, I don't know. I feel like part two is, even if like you're in a moment where you're enjoying more like upbeat music, it will definitely be more like chilled house opposed to like techno. I do think you get like chilled techno too, actually, believe it or not. But it's kind of more the chilled vibe, you know what I mean? Almost more like bassy tones and look, you're vibing out. You're getting what I'm saying, hopefully. There could also be like a part of you at the moment which is reflecting on like your light and your shadow, because like there's just such a heavy shadow here. It's quite beautiful actually, the more I'm looking at it. But like, yeah, I feel like you may be like just analyzing your shadow, coming to like bringing it together with like this person does seem like generally more on the lighter side. I feel like your shadow is, I don't know, maybe one could argue your shadow should be just as equal to your light. But I'm getting here, maybe you're more light than shadow. Don't think there's definitely anything wrong with that. But maybe you're kind of just maybe finding the beauty in your shadow as well, because I find that part the most beautiful. So you might be doing that evaluation on yourself. I know I sure love my shadow. My shadow is, I guess you guys can probably feel it. It's that side of me that you don't really know. Do I trust this guy speaking to me on the internet? My shadow be like the part that put that little bit of doubt in your head. That's my shadow. It's all good though, part two. It's like you can trust me on here. But it is alive. I do have a shadow. I'm not coming onto this channel saying that I'm 100% light, y'all. Yeah, so part two, I feel like you are like I said, maybe just appreciating that side of yourself. Possibly even falling in love with it. Like, I think there's a beauty of falling in love with your shadow personally, but I guess some people may agree with that, some people may disagree. Generally like a beautiful reading though. Like I said, it's like super chilled out. Sorry for my sniffling in these readings. I don't have a cold, but you know, it's that chilly side of the year. So yeah, part number 2, that's your reading, I think. It was a beautiful one, so thank you for letting me do this reading for you. If you enjoyed it, please do remember to like, comment and subscribe. Check out the If You Pause website, ifyoupause.com. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Okay, pile number 3 is it's kind of just looking at pile 2s again. Really nice. No, I shouldn't say that during like your reading, but it was. Like pile 2's had me in my feels. I feel like this is earth energy again, but kind of air as well. I'm kind of getting clouds. Feels like a cloud to me. Or possibly even smoke. What do you see and what do you feel? Yeah, I'm gonna leave that. I could have kept it going, but it's like, kind of is what it is. You know, I'm not sure. Like I could rotate it a little bit for you as well. So it's like, it's kind of like that as well. If you could imagine smoke coming up, I guess you could reverse it completely like that and make it more of like earth energy of a mountain, some form of hill. But just for the sake of it, we'll keep it that way. So smoke, I kind of get like smoke signal as well, like, so you could be signaling at the moment. I don't really feel like this is signaling for help though. I feel like this is almost signaling for war. So part number three, that's a little bit, a little bit Aries actually. Hopefully that's not me projecting. I've had enough war. I'm an early retired veteran of war. So part number three, you could be the fire signs as well. Aries, Sagittarius, Leo. But I was actually getting more air, so what's it? Aquarius, Gemini. Is it Libra? Could be wrong with that, but fill in the gaps for me if I'm saying anything incorrectly. Yeah, so this is like a signal for like war. Now, before you run off and go, this is definitely not my pile. Hear me out, because it's not necessarily like okay, so it's not necessarily, like some war is it unjust? You could say that all war is unjust to an extent, but like, to me, this energy, there's something a little bit here of kind of showing your strength. So it's kind of like a signal to say, so let me give you, I'll give it to you like literally how this energy felt. This was like, okay, so pile freeze. This is almost like you're in, and I know the context of this might be all over the place, but bear with me. So you're in your little village, and doesn't matter male or female here, but just kind of take this metaphor as the energy. So you're in your village, and the rival village have basically come up to you and said, tomorrow we're gonna steal all your cattle, slaughter all your women, and murder all your children. I know that's bloody brutal, but hey. And then they've come up and then they've left, and then you and the people in your village have said, damn, what are we gonna do? And bear with me, pile number threes. You stood up and you've gone, I'm gonna take them down tonight. And 50% of your villagers have gone, there's just no way that you could take out that village. It's got scary old Harry over there. Scary Harry, have you seen the size of him? Like, there's no way that you're gonna take over that village. And then the other 50% of the villagers have gone, do you know what? Pile 3's got something about them. I think they're gonna pull it off. And basically, that night you go over to the village with the 50% of the villagers, and you wipe them out, and there's this smoke here of that burning village. Now, kind of bypass the brutality of the metaphor here. Let's just say, we are people of God here, and we don't believe in brutally murdering people. But just for the sake of this metaphor, it had to be done, right? And this smoke is almost the signal to the other 50% of the people who maybe didn't believe in you, believe that you could take that village out. And it's almost like, oh my gosh, Pile 3, they've gone and done it. They've gone and saved us. That's the energy of this reading. Now, obviously, like I always try and anchor these readings back into our everyday lives, right? So we're not villagers, or we could be to an extent, but we're not living in times where a metaphor like that would make sense. So how does that fit? That could fit in the sense that, like, this would be in a love relationship. If you've ever been in a situation where your partner might doubt your capabilities for something, I don't know, if they thought, oh man, he can't fix the washing machine, he doesn't know how to do any plumbing. And then you get your spanner out and you get the job done. And then if you're a woman, it could be that same metaphor, especially nowadays, that could be the same thing. There's some form of like proving someone wrong here, and like the smoke. It's like you didn't want the smoke, baby. Do you know what I'm saying? You didn't want the smoke. But you're showing the smoke as it's like, bet they can't fix the washing machine. And then like 10 minutes later, it's like, the washing machine's like back in action. That's the smoke. In a work scenario, this would be, you can fill in the gaps here, pal threes. It could be that person's not going to get the promotion. That person isn't going to win that client. That person can't do that many hours. Whatever kind of lame or cool example you can give to fit in there. It's that. In your social situation, it may be, even it could even be like speaking up on something. It's kind of that situation where, people might have thought that you weren't one to speak out, and you're speaking out. Someone thought that maybe, you wouldn't speak out and speak your truth, and you have. This could be someone who, this is maybe for some of you actually, because I'm kind of getting like a spark here, but like people may have thought that you weren't as clever as you were, and you've done something maybe even like strategically. Like that example at the start kind of nails it, doesn't it? It's like, how did that person take that whole village with only half our people? That person must have had some form of tactical advantage there as well. Do you understand? There's kind of like a smarts that you've maybe shown, part three. So I really like that reading, actually. Maybe that was my Aries side getting stimulated, but it was an interesting reading, I think. Hats off to you, pal threes, because I feel like you're walking into an energy, or you've just finished walking out of an energy, which is, I don't know, like politely kind of been able to middle finger a few people. So that's the kind of energy that I'm getting. I hope that applies to you, because that's a good feeling when you can do that to people. But, if not yet, it's maybe on its way. So rooting for you as always. If you enjoyed the reading, please do remember to like, comment and subscribe. Check out the If You Pause website, ifyoupause.com. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care.